I want to tell you a story, and honestly, it sounds like a plot from a psychological horror movie. It sounds like something someone made up in a creepy internet forum to mess with your head. But it actually isn't. It's hard science. It's a theory based on hard science that some of the most respected neuroscientists on this planet are seriously, genuinely losing sleep over. Look, I'm just a regular guy. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professor, and I'm definitely not here to force you to believe this. In fact, I never ever made something in my life to force an opinion on you. You don't have to accept this as your reality. So please keep your critical thinking on. Just sit back, relax, buckle down, and feel free to listen to what these scientists discovered because when I first found out about it, it literally made me look at my own hands differently. It starts with a simple question. What if you are not alone inside your own head? To understand how deep this rabbit hole goes, we have to look at how your brain is physically built. You probably already know you have two halves, a left brain and a right brain. Under normal circumstances, they are connected by this thick, massive bridge of over 200 million nerve fibers called the corpus callosum. Think of it like a super fast fiber optic cable. These two halves are constantly texting each other, sharing data so fast that you feel like one single solid person. You feel like me, one entity. But back in the 1960s, doctors had to perform a radical surgery on patients with severe life threatening epilepsy. To stop the seizures from spreading, they surgically cut that fiber optic cable. They basically severed the bridge. They completely isolated the left brain from the right brain. And the surgery worked. Patients woke up, their seizures stopped, and on the surface, they seemed perfectly normal. They could walk, talk, and eat. But then neuroscientists started running tests on them, and that's when the horror movie started. The scientists realized that when you cut that cable, the two halves of the brain become two completely separate, independent consciousness, two separate minds trapped in one skull. So here's the creepy part. Your left brain controls your right hand, your right eye, and this is crucial. Your left brain controls your speech. It's the one that can talk. Your right brain controls your left hand, your left eye, and it is completely mute. It cannot speak a single word, but it can see, it can think, and it can feel. So scientists did this famous experiment. They showed the mute right brain an image of a snowy winter scene, and they showed the talking left brain an image of a chicken claw. Then they put a bunch of cards on the table and told the patient to point to what matched what they saw. The right hand, controlled by the talking left brain, pointed to a chicken, but the left hand, controlled by the mute right brain, suddenly reached out and pointed to a snow shovel. The scientists asked the patient, meaning they asked the right brain, why is your left hand pointing to a shovel? Now remember, the left brain had no idea about the snow scene because the cable was cut, it didn't see the snow. But instead of saying, I don't know why my hand did that, the left brain instantly fabricated a lie and it said, oh, simple, you need a shovel to clean out the chicken coop. Do you realize how terrifying that is? The left brain didn't know why the body was moving, but it immediately made up a story to protect the illusion that it was in control. And this is what neuroscientists are seriously debating right now. They look at this data and they ask, if the left brain does this to split brain patients, what is it doing to you right now? There are top scientists who genuinely believe that inside your head right now, there are at least two separate entities. There is the silent, emotional right brain that experiences the world, and there is the talking left brain, the interpreter, whose only job is to narrate your life and make up excuses for why you do things. Think about when you get a sudden random urge to do something, or when you feel an unexplainable wave of anxiety. You don't know where it came from, but your internal voice instantly creates a story. Oh, I'm anxious because of that email, for example, or I did that because I wanted to. But what if the voice is just guessing? What if you are just the entity that talks while someone else in there is making the actual decisions? So, like I said at the beginning, this is just a perspective. It's a chilling, fascinating framework that science is playing with. But it doesn't mean you are a robot or a glitching robot. You don't have to walk away from this video feeling freaked out or paranoid. Because honestly, even if we are a combination of two different minds, look at how beautifully they cooperate. When the cable connecting them is intact, they don't fight, they blend together to create art, music, logic, and love. They form you. Maybe the lesson here isn't to be scared of the dark corners of the mind. Maybe the lesson is to just stop taking that talking voice in your head so seriously, because it might just be a storyteller. It might be just trying its best to make sense of a wild, complex brain. And the fact that we are complex enough to even have these crazy debates. And personally, for me, this is actually very freeing because you have to understand this experiment doesn't mean you are a weird machine, it doesn't mean you're trapped. It just might mean that the human mind is infinitely more beautiful and mysterious than we ever gave it credit for. And even within this crazy data, there are two alternative theories that change everything. First of all, this doesn't mean free will doesn't exist, at least in my opinion, not at all. It might just mean that free will works differently than we think. And second, for those of you who believe in something deeper, this doesn't mean we don't have a soul. It might just mean that the soul works differently than we think. Think about it. If there is a soul, why would it be limited to just one half of a physical brain? Maybe the soul is the silent witness that sits above both hemispheres. Maybe the soul is the thing that connects them, watching the logic of the left brain and the emotion of the right brain dance together. But feel free to say what you think. And like I said at the beginning, you don't have to walk away feeling paranoid or overthinking your own identity. You absolutely don't have to accept any of this as the absolute truth. It's just a fascinating, window into the mystery of who we are. And even if we are a combination of different systems, look at how beautifully they cooperate when that bridge in your brain is intact. But please don't feel like I'm forcing any opinion on you. I'm not telling you what to think. I'm not teaching you literally anything. I just really wanted to share something my loving the neuroscience observed because it just really got me, so I needed to share this with you. So maybe the lesson here isn't to be afraid of our mind. Maybe the lesson is to just stop taking that loud, stressful talking voice, talking motherfucker in our head so seriously. Maybe it's just a storyteller. Maybe it's just a glitchy companion trying its best to make sense of a wild universe. But like, wow. Like, this thing is just so mind bending to me. Like, my mind is literally mind fucked from this. Like, what the actual hell? Like, what are neuroscientists going to discover in 100 years? Or 1,000 years? Like, what is the whole truth behind reality and our feelings, emotions, soul, life? Like this is just crazy. But like for me, this is freeing. Feel absolutely free to explore more mind-blowing things about our brain, thoughts, feelings, happiness, emotions, life. Just to chill back, relax, and hang out with me in other videos, but absolutely no pressure. Take care, please, especially take care, and I can't wait to catch you soon.